wouldn't want to miss this for nothing. It's the Weirdo, Beardos, Derek and Chad. Derek and Chad.
Two weirdo nerds, IMDb and our cerebellum, arguing if the sequel counts or nostalgia just sells them. Quoting movies wrong on purpose just to start a fight. Luke, I'm your nope. Now the comments like controller drift fingers, thumb seen some things. Beat Dark Souls once, now we walk like we're kings. Button mash philosophers, lore goblins at heart. Skip the tutorial, still call it avant-garde. Our playlist schizophrenic, vinyl crying for help. From John Williams brass blast to Wu-Tang on the shelf. Head banging the tooth, then a sad piano cue. Like this boss fight hurts emotionally too. We debate movie logic like it owes us rent. Why'd he split the party, 40 minutes spent? Pause the film, it chase for a hot take rent. Rewind the joke 3 times like, wait, did you catch that? Popcorn on the floor, lower tabs open wide. Easter eggs hunting like it's Ready Player 5. Coding rappers, wizards, plumbers, space marines. Mixed metaphors so hard they need behind the scenes. 2 nerds, 1 mic, dumb smart, smart dumb. Laughs crit on accident, natural 20-some. We keep it funny, messy references galore. If you get the joke late, congrats, there's more.
Welcome. I think that's our opening now. Welcome.
Right,
Yeah,
in unison.
it is always the thing I say. It's true.
That's why I was mocking you. Mine was very mocking, if you can tell.
Cordially invite yourself into the Weirdo Beardos podcast. Today, we're starting a theory episode where we're going to talk about the upcoming Avengers Doomsday.
Doomsday.
About a year. And there's a lot to be said here, but we'll go over a bunch of it. We're going to be basically going into like online theories, and then we'll talk some about our own theories. Mine, I've got some that are haywire, and what's funny is that probably like
That shit crazy.
I'm almost got things on 2 sides of the fence, and I think it's just me trying to be like, oh yeah, I was right.
Just guess everything. Eventually one of them will land.
But what started this, let's be clear, that what started this was a small conversation where I was like, hey, nobody remembers this, but I totally called the beginning of Endgame.
Nobody remembers it because it didn't happen.
Yeah, I told it to a guy who's now dead.
Oh, wow.
Like, how am I going to prove that?
I do have a Ouija board.
But me and my buddy Jeremy were walking out of the theater after watching Avengers Infinity War. I remember it was me, Jeremy, and I brought my buddy, I brought Justin Thompson, actually, for that when we went and watched it. And we were all sitting there. We were all sitting there talking about it, and like, I remember literally walking out the door. I was like, I bet you it opens up, and fucking Hawkeye, I remember saying he can be sitting in his living room, and they're going to be eating dinner or something, and fucking everybody's going to dust except him. And
you were wrong.
I was outside. Wrong. They were outside eating dinner. I was so off the mark.
Right? Could you be any more wrong?
Could you be any more wrong, Chandler? Anyway.
Wow. Speaking of dead things.
Yeah. Did you see? He kind of got murdered. Like his doctor kind of killed him. There was some malpractice involved there.
I thought they just overprescribed him drugs.
No, that's different. Like it's kind of like the shit he was getting was intravenous. So that means somebody has to come give it to him. So it's not like he was just at home shooting it up, So somebody overdosed him.
Wow. Is that why they're arresting so many people related to it?
Yeah. Because there was malpractice involved and somebody died. Anyway, that's our Avengers Doomsday theories.
Yep. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
You can find
Chandler,
me
Matthew Perry was murdered. That's what our Avengers Doomsday theory is. After Matthew Perry was murdered, it started this whole thing with Dr. Doom.
Yeah, Dr. Doom's back for revenge.
He's like, you can't take Chandler from us. But anyway, rewind. So
that's what it used to sound like when you rewound, kids.
All right, so the the core premise of the movie that we know of so far is that we're basically going to have Doctor Doom as the main villain, who's played by Robert Downey Jr., who we all know played Iron Man, who died at the last Avengers movie. Spoiler alert.
Oh,
Many people think that the conflict will stem from Earth 616 colliding with another universe. Probably that X-Men universe, like the whatever is it, A10,000 or whatever that came up at the end of the Marvels.
yeah.
This all may be something that Doom has been putting into play, is what this particular fan theory is saying. It's the multiverse collision incursion theory. The uncontrollable incursion events where universes collapse and collide. Basically, it's his own version of building Battle World. I don't know if they'll actually use that word in any way, but they may.
Battle World or incursion?
Battle World. I don't think they've ever used that word yet in anything, but they've talked about incursions and like Doctor Strange and shit.
Yeah, you just don't think they're going to use the word Battle World.
I don't think they. I mean, like it seems like one of those things that kind of like the Avengers Assemble thing. Like it'll kind of be in jest there. They may even like hint towards it, but they probably won't actually come out and say it. And if they do, it'll be like a big moment, you know?
Yeah. The end is going to be coming up in Avengers Battle World instead of Civil Wars.
There's another theory here about Doctor Doom's master plan is getting power via Franklin Richards, which we've seen the ending of Fantastic Four, where it looks like Doctor Doom is picking up the baby. And so
I thought he was just babysitting. I thought it was a weird choice.
A popular theory suggests that he isn't just attacking physically, he's after Franklin Richards' reality-shaping powers to become the most powerful being in existence. A lot of people point to possible scenes with Doom near Franklin and hinting that Marvel could adapt the comics' multiversal reshaping beat there. Then there's also, I mean, this is kind of like not a theory, and it's also, I read this a minute ago when I was talking about it. This part talking about how like the divided or fractures Avengers, they've been fractured the whole time. Like even in the original one, they were kind of like not wanting to work together, and then they come together anyway. That's the whole point of the Avengers. So I'm not even going to read that stupid thing. So another theory is based on reactions to early trailers that Doomsday might feel another Infinity War style climax, where it's like a destroy everything plot, but with the new mortality stakes. And instead of using the stones, there'll be other, like things to use, which
the
looks like children.
Looks like children. Bracelets. You think they're going to kidnap kids?
Well, I mean, we've got the one, and then for some reason they're like, hey, look, here's the only point of the fucking
Captain
Steve
America
Rogers,
trailer.
the Captain America trailer is like, hey, look, he has a baby. So like, I think that's going to come into play, unless Doctor Doom is the baby.
What a twist!
What a twist! Then there's this one, actually, something I read called the Monte Cristo. Remember we were talking about it before?
I don't remember it called that.
Yeah, it's based on the Count of Monte Cristo, the original story. It comes from a Reddit speculation that RDJ's Doom might not be a straight villain. Maybe he was betrayed in another universe, and now he wants revenge on the Avengers.
Oh yeah, I remember you talking about that.
Yeah. It was basically like, what if there was, which when we talked about it before, it was like, what if like there's a whole other universe where Iron Man went through everything he did, lost everything, but they didn't win. And so he blames the Avengers for losing his family. So he turns on them, he destroys them, he destroys his world, hits the multiverse, and says, I'm still mad. I'm going to kill all the Avengers in every fucking multiverse.
Yeah, I don't buy that one.
You don't buy that one?
I do not buy that one. I don't think you're going to have a good motivation as just a revenge story.
I mean, there's been quite a few good revenge story movies.
Agree, but I don't think a 4-quadrant movie like Avengers Endgame is going to work with just a basic revenge. And the whole idea of him going outside of his own universe to kill other Avengers, I see as weak motivation.
It could also be that's what it started as, but then as it grew, he ends up with the whole like, oh, well, I'll just pit them all against each other. Then we have hints of Civil War there.
That's true, but I still don't think they're doing revenge. I'll eat my words if I'm wrong
All right, well, I'm gonna serve them to you.
on that big platter of revenge.
Yeah. Well, then another fan idea suggests that the mysterious ship arriving near Earth might not be what it actually seems to be, which we think it's the Fantastic Four. But this one says, "Oh, it's Doom in disguise, and he's leading a false armada to come through to catch them, unaware." There's a little bit of something to that, but like, I do think that the Fantastic Four ship probably contains somebody that's not the Fantastic Four. Like, that would be a pretty easy twist to get us. The only obvious thing would be that if they are running from their world, which is falling apart, and it is them, then it could be that. Or, like, if they want to be really weird, they could be a different Fantastic Four, for all we know, Like,
They're bringing back the Corman Fantastic Four.
yeah, it's the Fan Stick Four crew.
Ooh.
Wouldn't
No,
that be some
Chickless is
shit?
coming. Chickless is coming back.
Chickless.
Yeah.
I'd take Chickless and Alba. Let's go.
Fuck yeah. I think they were the best.
But they'll be like, our Johnny died in the fucking, our Johnny died when he was in the fucking void.
Right.
But lastly, here we have secret betrayals and strange choices. Fans also speculate about Doctor Strange possibly hiding information or making morally gray decisions, like choosing a path that sacrifices some realities to save others, echoing his "we saw this outcome" lines from earlier movies.
I see that more than anything. I think he's trying to save his world or save a world.
Yeah, I mean, he's always kind of been like a
He's a man of the people.
well, yeah, but he's always like, he's very like calculative, like how he'll come across, like in Endgame when or Infinity War, he says, I won't fucking deny to not let you or the boy die, but then what does he do? He lets fucking he gives him the fucking stone to save Tony's life,
Right.
which is exactly the opposite of what he said.
For that.
Megan's leaving work, so we're gonna have to get through this. But you go with your theories first.
Really? I don't
Yeah.
remember my theories.
You don't have any at all, you remember?
I think Doom's gonna be there to save his world from an incursion. I think an incursion will have been started by Steve Rogers going back in time and staying, and that incursion will be between us, our reality, and Doom's reality, and those two are the threats, and so he's trying to eliminate our world to save his.
Well, the other thing, I first of all fully support the fact that there's probably something in there with the whole Captain America went back and started an incursion in a way. But more generally, remember the other day I was saying that maybe like he fucked up more than we thought.
Yeah, that could be a possibility.
Yeah, because he never went back, so maybe he didn't get all the stones back, and maybe there's some shit going on.
What do you think the chances are? Hang on the wind. What do you think the chances are that the stones come back into play?
If they do, it's going to be very briefly, like it's going to be something like in Loki, where it's like you think it's going to be a big threat.
Oh, you think it'll be a throwaway joke almost?
And then it'll be less than a throwaway joke like it was in Loki, but it'll be like they'll either be destroyed or come out to be like some, not because some of them are gone, they won't be as powerful. Like there'll be some reason for them to be super nerfed, and so they won't be the central part of what the deal is. Like I don't see, the only way the stones may come back is if we get a variant that has like Ultimate Iron Man or like Ultron with all the things, and like, some kind of variant that has all the stones. That might be a way the stones come back.
What about the 10 rings or what's their names? Bracelets. I just bit my tongue. Ow.
The bracelets were a big multiversal thing in Marvels. So they may be, they may be some kind of tied into the artifact there.
I think if there are artifacts or MacGuffins like that, I think it'll be the 10 rings and the bracelets. But I think they were building that with Kang, so they might drop it all together. We might not have some pretty basic MacGuffins like we had last time.
But also, you bring up Kang.
Go ahead.
I'm still in the house that we might see him.
That's part of my
Like-
theory is that it opens with him getting the Council of Kings getting annihilated or an aftermath of that.
Yeah, see, I think to a certain degree that would work, but I also would believe that it would be crazy if it started with Kang having the baby. Like, that's not Doom, that's Kang. And then and he's trying to leave with the baby to further his plans. And while he's, trying to escape the planet or whatever, he just gets fucked up by Doom and like his like whatever group, Because that's the other thing that we're not thinking about is Doom's not showing up on his own. Like, Doom's got to have fucking people to fucking. He's got
Doom bots.
He's got to have faceless army to die. Like.
It's the Doom bots, man. It's going to be Doom bots, Ultron.
Okay, that makes sense. That could be it. But we do agree, if nothing else, that this movie's going to end with him starting Battle World.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Secret Wars will become Battle World to some extent.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because you know what the most telling thing is of how bad Secret Invasion went? That Secret Wars can't be what it originally was in the comics, with Secret Invasion just bombing like it did.
Agreed.
Because half of Secret Wars was the fucking idea that we didn't know who was fucking, who was who. We still didn't know who was who after Secret Invasion,
Yeah.
And there was a lot of Skrulls involved.
Super Skrull.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited for the movie. I hope that it's going to be as good as, everybody's hoping it to be. I don't, of course there's going to be a shitload of people pissed off about whatever they're going to be pissed off about. And there's all the people
calling me out?
Not yet. There's all the people who hate on the MCU as it is. Of course they're going to hate on this.
Vazen? He thinks this movie's going to bomb.
Well, I'm calling out your son. In fact, I'm going to challenge him.
To a duel. Smack.
I'm going to smack him with a paper towel. And then we have to
He's going to beat your ass.
Charlie Kirk style.
Wow. Getting shot in the neck.
I'll be like, the MCU's better than you think it is. Prove me wrong.
So he shoots you in the neck.
Yeah. And then I can be the MLK of my era.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry, that's just making fun of people on the internet who are equivalating the two in some way.
Right.
But yeah, man, I think it's going to be super fun. Also, I think one of the things that's not like fully pulled in is Wanda, and I wonder.
You think she's coming back?
Coming back, because I've seen articles, and there's a lot of speculation out there when it comes to articles. But I've seen articles both ways. I've seen articles that say Elizabeth Olsen said she's done with the Wanda character, and then I've seen articles that's like Elizabeth Olsen will be returning for Doomsday, and I'm like, fucking, which one is it?
I think she'll be in Secret Wars, but I don't see her in Doomsday.
Well, I do think that it's going to be a fun ride one way or the other. I'm excited for it. All right, y'all.
It's time for a new segment. Season 2.
Go
ahead.
Sorry. What? Yeah, go ahead. You do your intro.
Okay. Season 2, we're introducing a brand new segment for all you motherfuckers out there. Chad, what's it called?
All right. This segment is going to be about conspiracies, but not the little ones, not the stupid ones that political people like to throw around like pizza places and fucking, drinking baby juice and stuff. None of that.
That just sounds horrible. Yeah, it kind of sounded like something else. I don't want to get into it.
We're going to be talking about the big ones, the really big ones.
How flat is the Earth?
But to be clear, this segment is called, and we're going to be giving those conspiracies a real good look. We're going to deconstruct them a little bit, and then we're going to talk about what I think, happened. And then we'll find out if Derek fucking agrees, because sometimes he does and sometimes he doesn't.
This is our first time doing it, so what do you mean sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't?
Well, first of all, I just mean in general.
Yes, sometimes I agree with you, sometimes you're an idiot.
But anyway, the segment, for those that, you're bright in the head, you'll find this funny. We're going to be giving these conspiracy theories a real good look, and we're going to call it Proper Gander.
Okay, so you did explain it beforehand. I was just going to see if it landed. I don't hear anything from the audience.
The audience loved it. You didn't hear that?
I didn't hear.
My audience was like dying.
Mine left. They got up and left. We had a full studio audience here, and they just all walked out.
Yeah, they were coming over to my studio because it's.
Also, you've got heat. I don't.
Anyway, so welcome to Proper Gander. Today
Gander.
we're going to start with the big one. You ready for this?
No, not
all
ready.
the way back to
1960
60 fucking whatever.
1960-80.
We're going to the JFK assassination.
Back and to the left. Back and to the left.
Back and to the left. So real quick, if you don't know, on November 22nd, 1963, the president of the United States was John Fitzgerald Kennedy. And he was rolling through Dallas and Dealey Plaza.
Dealey. Is it Dealey?
Is it? I've always heard it spoken as Dealey, but I might be wrong. Daily Plaza.
One of the plazas, Aubrey, whatever.
And he's rolling through.
Roll through her.
Yeah, me too. Rolling through, and apparently, somebody, we don't know, his head just exploded. It was a spontaneous event. And then people were like, well, maybe it was this guy who was up in the Texas school book
suppository.
You're not supposed to put the whole building in your ass.
Wow.
It's the school book depository, not suppository.
Same thing.
But anyway, Lee Harvey Oswald, a former U.S. Marine, climbed up there and he took shots. Though that is actually a fact. We know he took shots. We know that one of them hit the street, and we're pretty sure that a lot of people think his third shot hit him. I don't think that's what happened. We'll get to that, though. First of all, just going over it, a 10-month investigation, the Warren Commission concluded that Oswald assassinated Kennedy, and there was no evidence that Oswald or Ruby, who was Jack Ruby, apparently was somebody, he was like a club owner or something, and people thought he was like involved with the mafia or something. I don't know if any of that's true, but he apparently paid or hired Oswald, or at least gave him the job or whatever. And then Oswald took the shots, and, we all know what happened from there.
Jack Ruby was the guy who killed Oswald.
Oh, that's right. Jack Ruby ran out and shot him.
Yeah, he's the one who shot him on television.
There was no evidence that either Oswald or Ruby was part of a conspiracy.
Yeah, there's a lot of people thought Ruby was part of the mafia and was trying to clean up loose ends.
Okay, so that's all bullshit too.
Yeah, before Oswald could talk.
Was Ruby just like, you killed the president, I'm gonna kill you?
Yeah, basically, that's kind of what they rolled.
But that all comes from the Warren Commission. But there was a lot of other stuff brought up later, like in the 90s during the Clinton administration. There was people who were working at the time at the hospitals who had said some things about the Secret Service and how they were how they handled the whole thing. And then also there was a lot of talk about the I did see, which this is covered in the documentary. Thank you. Almost said documentary.
Documentary.
But the documentary, there's a documentary called The Smoking Gun we'll get into later, but during that they talk about some of the court proceedings and some of the witness statements of people talking about the Secret Service making them take pictures, x-rays with bullet fragments being put around, like, on the president's skull and all kinds of shit. Some fishy shit there.
Sus actions by the Secret Service.
Yeah. And but anyway, going through here, I'm just going to read some facts about it here. 1967, New Orleans District Attorney Jim Garrison brought the only trial for Kennedy's murder against businessman Clay Shaw. Shaw was acquitted. Substantial federal investigations such as the Rockefeller Commission and Church Committee agreed with the Warren Commission's general findings. In its 1979 report, the United States House Select Committee on Assassinations concluded that Kennedy was likely assassinated as a result of a conspiracy. So we got people going both ways here.
Yeah.
The HCA did not identify any possible conspirators, but the conclusion was there was a high probability that two gunmen fired at the president. The HCA's conclusions were largely based on a police recording later debunked by the U.S. Justice Department. A police dicta belt?
What the hell's that?
Yeah, what the fuck is it? A dicta belt recording is from a motorcycle police officer's radio microphone stuck in the open position, became a key piece of evidence cited by the House Select Committee. Oh, okay. So it was literally from
Open radio.
Open radio click, yeah. Kennedy's assassination is still the subject of widespread debate. and has spawned many conspiracy theories. What do you say we talk about some of them?
And I've got one. So they had Cash Patel go ahead and investigate it and came back. Come to find out, Oswald actually engraved on the bullets that I did it alone. So it's all.
That's coming from Cash, huh?
Yeah. Every time he investigates something, somebody has engraved the answer on a bullet. Must be this.
Well, there's always, everybody knows about the Zapruder footage, which is the famous video that everybody's seen.
Back and to the left.
And to the left.
We should make
Now-
a dance song out of that. Back and to
Back,
the left.
Back, to the left. And back. And to the left. And back. And to the left. Now, fire. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
So the Dallas police, there was an FBI investigation, the Warren Commission, of course. They had that trial of Clay Shaw, as we spoke about. Excluding Chief Justice Warren, the members of the Warren Commission did not view the photographs or x-rays taken during Kennedy's autopsy. According to Warren, this was to avoid having to publicly release the explicit material to sensation mongers. Due to the persistent speculation, in February 1968, Attorney General Ramsey Clark convened a panel of 4 medical experts to examine the photographs and x-rays from the Kennedy autopsy. Their findings concurred with the Warren Commission, and Kennedy was struck by 2 bullets, both from behind. So now, according to
Dun,
this,
dun,
he got
dun.
shot twice.
Yeah,
He did get shot in the shoulder once. Huh?
Yeah, it passed through and hit, what's his name? The Texas guy.
Yeah. Yeah, the senator that was in the front.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's see if we can. Let's go ahead and jump into the mini conspiracies, and then we'll save our, or I say mine for last, and we'll see how you feel.
Jesus.
About it. I don't want to assume that you agree with me.
You know, if you assume, it makes a shun and an ass of ooze.
Ooze.
Man, I hope they cut all this dead air out
They will. It's all part of a conspiracy.
to keep us silent.
Well, what do you say we go see our friend, Mr. ChatGPT, about this?
I'm sure he's not going to hallucinate again. There is no factual evidence that Mad Rock Week doesn't exist.
What are the most popular theories about the JFK assassination?
Cuba.
All right. The first, of course, the official story is Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. The reason why most people kind of like throw things around there is that, like, this is the claim that Oswald shot JFK from the book depository using a manly shirk.
Sure, that's how you pronounce it.
Sure. And the magic bullet theory, which is one bullet that basically did all the damage somehow, is a theory that why people doubted the story, the original or the official story. There are witnesses reporting shots from different directions. Oswald's murder by Jack Ruby before the trial to tie up those loose ends. And then, of course, the CIA and FBI was holding a lot of information for a long time.
Derek voice?
To what?
Was that your Derek voice?
I don't think
of
so.
loose ends.
Tying up. It was kind of a Derek voice.
It's like, wow, he's mocking me to my face.
Supporters of the official story argue a ballistics evidence supports Oswald, no conclusive proof of a second shooter, and many inconsistencies are explainable under stress and chaos. That's all true. But as we all know, there is a second shooter from the grassy knoll theory, which was the comedian from the Watch.
Yes, everybody knows that. So what's the conspiracy?
Yeah. They say that at least one shooter fired from the grassy knoll in front of the motorcade, which seems odd, seeing how the bullet impact blew out the front right of his fucking head.
It's a magic bullet, too.
There's a lot of magic here.
Maybe there was like 8 shooters and all of them missed, except the other guy.
Yeah. The witnesses heard shots from that direction. There's JFK's head movement in the Zapruder film looks like a front impact. And the HSCA in 1979 concluded there was likely a second shooter based on acoustic evidence that they found. The problems with this is that later studies disputed the acoustic analysis and no physical evidence of a shooter was ever found. So,
They solved.
second solved. Yeah, we're done. Well, we got 9 of these.
Jesus. How long is this podcast?
I'll get through them. Here we go.
Ready?
So, number 3,
read.
yeah, speed read. So, the CIA's involvement was one other thing. The claim the CIA either allowed or participated in the assassination due to JFK's threats to dismantle it, or the firing of the CIA director Alan Dulles after the Bay of Pigs, or because of moving towards something. Tente?
What the hell's that?
Oh, I want to learn a word today. Hold on.
Good.
It is pronounced detente, the easing
Dante?
of hostility or strained the easing of hostility or strained relations, especially between countries. And it's pronounced detente? I don't know. I've never heard that.
No, I don't think you're pronouncing it right, so I've probably never heard it either.
Yeah, but anyway, so apparently he was trying to calm down things with USSR and Cuba, and that pissed some people off. Why people believe it is because the CIA lied about its knowledge of Oswald. There was a guy with a call named Dulles who was on the Warren Commission with a conflict of interest. I guess he was involved with one side or the other. And there's massive document suppression for decades. Counter arguments why the CIA would not be involved is that there's no documents that are just the smoking gun of the situation. Smoking gun. We'll go back to that later. And it would require a large. They said that it would require such a large, perfectly silent conspiracy, and there hasn't been anybody, who came out against.
Yeah, that's one valid reason.
And then we also have the mafia hit, which is the mafia ordered a hit because JFK's father allegedly made deals with mob figures. Robert Kennedy aggressively prosecuted organized crime, and Jack Ruby had mob connections. The supporting points is mafia had motive and capability. Some mob figures hinted at involvement later in life. And the weakness is no direct evidence linking the mob. We also have
Except
Castro
this bullet here.
For this bullet.
Right here. The mob did it.
Right here on the bullet. We also have a theory that the Cuban government, a.k.a. Castro, did it, which is based with Castro retaliated for U.S. assassination attempts and invasions. It circulated because Oswald was pro-Castro.
Jesus,
he was a pro-Castro, and he apparently procrastinated just enough.
Right.
And then Oswald visited the Cuban embassy while in Mexico City. And why it's doubted is because Castro knew killing JFK would guarantee U.S. retaliation, and there's no evidence Cuba ordered or supported Oswald. There's a few more here. Let's see what we got. We got anti-Castro Cuban allies, basically angry Cubans exiled, felt betrayed by JFK after the Bay of Pigs and wanted revenge. No proof of coordination or excluded, but Oswald did have contact with pro and anti-Castro groups. So, iffy. Then we got Lyndon B. Johnson did it, which this claim is that Lyndon B. Johnson conspired to remove JFK to gain the presidency.
Heard that one.
Is that they had a political rivalry. Johnson benefited the most from it by becoming president, and some suspicious statements attributed to Johnson's allies. But no credible evidence, and they considered very fringe by historians. There's also JFK was assassinated for opposing the escalation of Vietnam and threatening defense profits, thus pissing off the military-industrial complex. And so they put it out to get him killed. People found it compelling because Eisenhower warned about this exact threat. JFK was pulling back from Vietnam for real. The problem is that there's no evidence of direct operational planning.
On this bullet, it said the prison industrial complex did it.
Now, we get to the ninth and final JFK theory that they brought to us, but this one happens to be in a line with my theory.
Oh.
Are you ready for it?
Hang on, I gotta put my tinfoil hat on. That's what I think tinfoil sounds like.
Tinfoil sounds like Donald Duck.
Yes. Well, there was a duck in my hat. I'm the worst magician ever.
It's like, fuck, I forgot about that duck. All right, so there's way more detail than what they got on here, but I'm going to give it to you straight on what they have here, which is accidentally shot by the Secret Service. This claim is that a Secret Service popped up and accidentally fired a weapon during the chaos, and that hit the president. Basis is because weapon handling was sloppy that day, and some wound interpretations suggest a different caliber of weapon on the kill shot. Why it's rejected is because the ballistics on record don't support it, and no whistleblowers or documentation support it. But I will say that there was a book a long time ago written by a guy. In fact, I'll get info on it.
As all hell breaks loose outside my door. Jesus.
All right, so let's see what we can get here. So the book, which was released in 1992, written by journalist Boner Maringer with key ideas from ballistic reports for expert Howard Donahue. That's the guy who's in the documentary, Howard Donahue.
See, kin to Phil.
The central claim of it is that while Lee Harvey Oswald fired shots at JFK, the bullet that actually killed Kennedy was not fired by Oswald. Instead, it was a fatal shot that was allegedly fired by Secret Service agent George W. Hickey, Jr., from the car immediately behind the presidential limousine. Donahue argues that Hickey picked up his AR-15 rifle to respond to Oswald's fire, and the motorcade lurched forward while they were braking, causing Hickey to slip and accidentally pull the trigger, and that's the bullet that struck Kennedy in the head.
Yeah, I'm on board with that theory. I've seen the documentary. It's really persuasive.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
See, that I remember watching it a while back, and I've always held that theory to be pretty true. Like, it's the most realistic theory of all of them. Like,
the only way to keep a secret like that is if your ass is on the line.
Yeah, and also it goes into deep reasoning in the documentary about all the actions the Secret Service took. And one could say that the Secret Service would definitely be in some chaos during this time and trying to cover their asses even if they didn't fuck up, you know?
I mean, you mean even if they didn't shoot him? Because that'd be them fucking up if they got let him get shot anyway.
Right, yeah. But basically, the original Howard Donahue and a journalist wrote the book. It details like the flaws of the Warrant Commission, especially the fatal headshot trajectory. And he argued it was more consistent with a shot from behind the limo rather than above and from the Texas book depository. He pointed at different bullet behavior as well, just claiming that the fatal shot's characteristics are more likely a higher velocity ammunition used by the Secret Service agent rather than Oswald's rifle. George Hickey, the agent implicated, sued them and the book's publisher for defamation in the 90s. The suit was dismissed and later settled on because of the timing and statute of limitations issued, not on the merits of the theory. The reception, the book was praised by some for detailed analysis and for not invoking a broad conspiracy. Mortal Error basically posits that it's a mistake and it's not, they didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different when you looked at that to say that, oh, this happened on accident. It was also criticized and had little impact beyond JFK's theory circles at the time. Then, years later, some almost 20-something years later, in 2013, Australian police detective Colin McLaren revisits and amplifies Donahue's theory in both a book and a TV documentary. The documentary frames the theory as forensic and ballistic reevaluation of the evidence, emphasizing Oswald fired 2 shots, the first missed and the second wounded them. Hickey retrieved the AR-15, intending to return fire. Due to the motor cord's movement and it wrenching forward at a stop, Hickey's gun discharged accidentally, firing the shot that fatally struck Kennedy. According to the documentary, authorities suppressed much of this information to protect the Secret Service reputation. The key claims you had one thing to do. Don't let him kill him.
Hey, we won't let him kill him.
To be clear, if that was the thing.
Right.
Like, boss, we didn't let him kill him. We killed him.
Yeah, we killed him first.
Oh, and by the way, boss, you're dead.
Yeah.
McLaren and Miniger argued the ballistics evidence they examined, the size of the wound, the bullet behavior, fits the AR-15 scenario better than the conventional account. The film especially rejects the idea of a wider conspiracy involving mafia, CIA, foreign governments, or ice bullets, or magic bullets, etc., except focusing on an accidental discharge followed by a cover-up.
I could see that, because it does stink of conspiracy. It always made sense to me, like, after seeing the documentary, that, yeah, I could see the the Secret Service bending over backwards, planning evidence, and, giving it that conspiracy vibe, because it's a conspiracy to cover their own ass.
Which I will argue against the criticisms. There's some criticism of skepticism, and since we both agree, maybe you can help me argue against them.
Being on your team.
So, mainstream historians and many assassination researchers remain very skeptical. One, lack of direct evidence. There's no verified witness who saw Secret Service agent Hickory fire his rifle on that day. Okay, but if you're sitting there and you hear shots, you're gonna.
My ass is on the ground.
If you are gonna look anywhere, you're gonna look back towards the shots where they're coming from.
I heard the acoustics there were really bad because of the buildings and everything, so that there was a lot of reverb and delay or echo.
Right.
So it might have been confusing on where the shots were coming from. So everybody's scattered looking around, trying to pinpoint the source.
Yeah, but one place you wouldn't look is the car behind the president, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I would say there was no verified witness. But let's see what else we got here. Contradictory eyewitness accounts. Agents riding in the follow-up car said it would have been impossible for the shot to be fired there without them noticing. Of course, they're not going to fucking...
Yeah, I didn't see anything.
Let's not... of course they're not going to fucking come out. There was a meeting right after it all happened that was like, okay, guys, we got to come up with some shit.
Covering our ass.
But also in the if you watch that documentary, they go into a lot of detail about how he was the new guy, and they were all like basically went out the night before and had like
Yeah,
a
we're
light of drinking. They were all
they didn't get
hungover.
in till like 6 in the morning, and they had to be up at 8.
So they basically gave the new guy the gun because everybody else was hungover.
Yeah.
So anyway, trajectory and forensic critiques. Many analysis.
Wow.
Many analysts argue that the fatal shot trajectory still aligns better with the shots from the book depository and that the smaller wound diameter augment is not definitive. First of all, that sounds like somebody who doesn't understand fucking ballistics. Like, I'm not even an expert on it, but if you can tell me that one bullet from the same angle is going to do two different things, then you're wrong. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not an expert. There might be some kind of physics that I'm not aware of. There's a lot of physics I'm not aware of. So
Yeah, that's fair. And I'll admit that I'm not an expert either. But
well, actually, I just became an expert, so you're wrong. He's wrong. They're all wrong.
But to be clear, Howard Donahue was a guy that the cops would go to get fucking ballistics fucking questions that they couldn't figure out. That's how good of a ballistics guy he was. And former Australian detective Colin McLaren is probably a little bit more knowledgeable than most of us about that shit too. Continuing through our criticisms, we have the implausible cover-up. Now, I don't think it's implausible.
I can say that, like, the idea that any conspiracy occurred and it's been this long and nobody's stepped up and said something on their deathbed or mentioned to a friend or confessed to a priest or something.
Right.
Like, that I can see as a valid argument because people can't keep their fucking mouths shut.
That is true. I believe that somebody may have, but it's also just as much of a thing that they all could have been scared of each other's fucking, retaliation, and even towards the end,
Disgrace.
even towards the end, if you're fucking George Hickey and you did that, and you did that, and everybody else knows you did that, even if he was probably one of the last ones alive, he was a younger guy at the time, so there's probably a good chance that he would have took that to his grave. If he was
I
the
can
one
see
that,
him taking it to the
made
grave.
the mistake.
But, like, I can see arguments saying that, okay, somebody in that group is bound to it. That's why, because it's such a small conspiracy, I can still see past that, I guess. But
Yeah, because it'd be different if it was like a dozen people, but we're talking about 4 people in a car.
yeah,
Like even the other agents wouldn't have known for sure, But anyway,
ride or die.
lastly, it's not accepted in most serious scholarship circles.
To hell it is,
Well,
and we're in a scholarship circle right now.
I know. They won't recognize us though.
It's because I'm wearing a beard, a fake beard on top of my real beard.
Yeah, it's always the beards. It throws them off. It's our weird
Yes.
beard.
Well, I forgot to put mine on. There we go.
Anyway, lastly, not widely accepted, while it gets attention in pop media and certain JFK theory circles, mortal error and the smoking gun are not considered persuasive or reliable explanations by the historical community at large. They are regarded as contrary or fringe interpretations rather than established history. Sounds like you just don't want it to be fucking solved.
Or maybe we're just so desperate for answers that...
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
Finally?
but you knew I got fucking.
She smelled them. She smelled them.
So I just threw out.
Megan's rabbit finally came back home.
Oh, wow. I thought we got rid of that one.
But yeah, I still think it's the most, like,
I think it's the best answer we have so far.
yeah. And everybody was just overly interested in the magic shit or the crazy shit or the mafia and just conspiracies. Everything had to be like crazy. And really and truthfully, if this is what happened, it's pretty simple. Like, somebody tried to shoot at the president, and the fucking guy fucked up when he picked up the gun and accidentally shot him. It's a fucking crazy. I'll admit that it's a crazy fucking, like, conspiracy itself to it. Not conspiracy, I should say, or
Coincidence.
coincidence. Yeah, it's a crazy coincidence.
It belongs to the beginning of that movie, Magnolia. Did you ever see that?
Nuh-uh.
There's a bunch of
I've
these.
heard.
There's a
I've
bunch
heard
of
about
these.
that movie.
There's like little vignettes at the beginning of like these just odd circumstances that are supposedly true. Like a guy jumps out of a window to kill himself and gets shot halfway down and is convicted of his own murder because he loaded the gun that his parents were using to fight, and that's what shot him. So
Wow.
yeah. But yeah, it's weird coincidences like that. So that belongs. We could put that at the beginning of Magnolia.
Well, okay.
You'd
I might have to
see the
watch
movie.
this movie.
The first 20 minutes
who-
are really
Paul
good.
Thomas?
Yeah, PTA. That's what I call him
I
personally.
never loved any of his shit. I guess
This-
that might be why I've never watched it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely him. I
But,
think it's him at his most him.
Let me see what, real quick. Paul Thomas Anderson. Okay, Boogie Nights, There Will Be Blood. Oh, he did that new movie, One Battle After Another. That's him too, huh?
Yep.
Oh, okay, see, I'm thinking of a different guy. Maybe I don't have a problem with Paul Thomas Anderson.
He's got a problem with you, though.
He does.
Yeah, he was telling me, I was like, hey, PTA, how you doing? He's like, you still talk to that Chad fucker? And I'm like, yeah, why? He's like, well, don't talk to me. I was like, okay.
Well, I'm sorry that I've ruined your friendship with him.
Yeah, it was my sexual
Who's the guy?
relationship.
Who's the guy that I'm thinking of then? Who's the director? Who's the director that I hate?
Ridley Scott?
No, that's you. What's the name? Okay, I do remember one of his movies. Let's see. Hold up before I say it out loud. See if I can figure out who I'm getting mixed up here.
Who you're hating.
Oh,
It's good
Wes
to-
Anderson.
Anderson,
See, that makes
yeah.
sense.
They
that
do
makes sense
sound a
'cause
lot
they-
like
They are
Paul
both
and Wes.
Andersons. They're both Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson. But yeah, Wes Anderson, not a fan.
I did
I
like the
remember-
Royal Tenenbaums.
Now, see, that's the first one I watched that I was like, this is fucking weird and crazy and stupid.
I liked it. That's one of the only ones I like of his, but
And let's see. I tried to watch Asteroid City and the Grand Budapest Hotel. Both of those kind of fell beyond the fucking...
the Dajari and Unlimited or whatever.
Dajari Unlimited, French Dispatch, Moonrise Kingdom. Those are some of the more recent ones.
Yeah, here he's got the new Spider-Man sequel.
Really?
Yeah. No, I'm kidding. That'd be fucking hilarious.
I'm like, fuck. But anyway.
I could hear your heart drop.
I was like, really? Motherfucker here. He's trying to, you're trying to magic bullet me. You're trying
Yeah,
to.
I'm
Me.
like-
Yeah.
Give you a heart attack, man.
What are you, George Hickey?
Yes. No, I'm not accidentally shooting anybody.
He's like, no. Yeah, this is definitely on purpose.
Yeah.
But anyway, that is today's installment of Proper Gander. And I welcome everybody else to go and do their own propaganda.
Your own
Yes.
research.
If you want to check it out and find out how stupid we are and how wrong we are in thinking that this theory is the best theory, but, don't come at me with some stupid theory like, the guy on the bridge shot him with a future gun or something.
Wow.
It's a
What kind of
gun
theory? Who you been hanging out with?
I was just coming up with something stupid.
I thought you were hanging out with homeless people again.
Not today.
Well, technically, yes, you are.
I guess so. I was a homeless guy just now that depressed me because I walked, like most homeless people are like, hey, can I have some change? But this guy literally said, hey, man, can you buy me something to eat? And I was like, I don't have any money, sorry. But I felt bad because I actually kind of wanted to buy the guy some food.
He would have blown you.
He didn't have to blow me for a fucking Happy Meal.
Somebody's getting a Happy Meal.
That's a happy ending. Am I right?
Oh, that's a good note to go out on.
Well, I'm not.
That's true. It sounds like you're wrapping up.
Uh,
Where can people find you?
You can find me at Chad Prone Comedy on all your socials, including Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And they can
Mad
find you
Rock
where?
Week. At Mad Rock Week. Don't talk over me, my plugs. Mad Rock Week at SoundCloud, Suno, YouTube, Facebook, and Bandcamp.
And Pornhub.
Oh, obviously. I thought that went without saying.
Yeah, I'm a deviated septum at Pornhub.
I'm DV7.
I'm fully subliminal seminal on xvideos.com. Wait, you didn't like this fully subliminal seminal?
That sounds
It's
like
like
too much semen.
It's like I'm coming on your face, but only in my imagination.
You need to quit doing that when we're on the podcast. It is distracting.
Yeah,
I
most
can hear it.
I can hear your erection from here.
It keeps interfering with my audio.
I do have strong cosmic abilities when I have a boner.
Yeah, for the
It's,
R word.
with great power.
Wow. You almost said it.
Yeah, with great power comes great electrical magnetic forces.
With great power comes great erections.
saying Weirdo, Beardos. Everybody listen at a waiter saying Weirdo, Beardos. It's a now